Sherry Troxel does our video. You good here? Sherry Troxel is my, yeah, I know. If I took my shoes off, you could be down there. Sherry Troxel is my friend, and she started coming to the Bible study, and she does our video for us. She does all the, so I call her our media director. You know, we've got big, oh, look at her. Nice, wasn't it?
I'd much rather be there behind the camera than up here, just to tell you that.
Just to tell you how much she doesn't want to be here, she's the only person in Jackson that was kind of like, well, if we do have a tornado, at least I won't have to speak. You know, if there's no electricity, I won't have to be there. Like, she was the only person that was like, maybe that would be a good thing. So I just want you to feel how much you have to not want to be up here to believe that, okay? And but Sherry is cherished by people that know her. And so if you'll just give her this time that she's going to, you know, like I said, it's not what she loves to do. But she's been called to missions. And it is remarkable. And so I want you to hear that as you go, because the story doesn't always start out like that. So Sherry, we're so glad you're here. Sweet thing. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so tell us where you were born.
So I was born in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
And then you
moved to Tempe, Arizona when I was in high school. Finished out high school and went to college there to Arizona State on an Air Force ROTC scholarship and studied math. My first
I want you to go as long as you will.
My first assignment was in Los Angeles Space Division, where I was a project manager monitoring contractors' schedules and costs, and then reporting that to the bosses that ran everything.
Impressive.
While I was there, I got married, went through a divorce. He was an abusive alcoholic.
Bad guy.
Well, he was also unfaithful. And so that was the clincher for me. I was trying to deal with all the other things. But so I had a 2-year-old child at the time, and the Air Force sent me as a single mother to Wright Pat Air Force Base in Dayton, Ohio, where I got a master's degree in acquisition management. And while I was there as a single mom, no friends, no family, new place, 2-year-old single mom, it was a difficult time. And so when my daughter was about 4, I finally told the Lord, I didn't know who God was. I mean, I didn't know who Jesus was at the time. I knew of a God. I knew of an all-powerful God. I had a very powerful, very restrictive father. So it was hard for me to relate to God at that time. But then while I was reading this to my 4-year-old child, a children's story Bible, that the Lord had directed me to a Christian bookstore, and I picked up a children's story Bible and started reading that to her. And that's when I learned who Jesus and the Holy Spirit was, and the role they played in my life, and finally turned my life over to Jesus. And my life changed.
Is that other than reading a story Bible, is a children's Bible? I mean, y'all, we're learning from all these things, right? Because she was able to get that whole story of Jesus, and she turned her life over to Christ. Okay,
so soon after that, I was introduced to my husband through a blind date of somebody who knew my husband also had gone through a bad marriage and divorce and had 2 children. I had the 1 child, and so at the ages of 5, 7, and 10, we blended a family. He was a full-time dad, so I was a full-time stepmom, which was difficult. And so, very difficult. The mother didn't make it very easy for us, but so we blended a family, so we have his, mine, and then we had 2 together. After 11 years, with the youngest being 11, so it was a big break in between of starting all over.
Tell us how you came to Jackson.
So the 2 youngest that we still had home, so after my husband finished his PhD program, I got out of the Air Force, he stayed in, we got assigned to San Antonio after that. So now we're in Texas, and after 10 years in San Antonio, we moved up to the Waco area. That's another long story of how that happened. But so we're in Waco, and we just have the 2 at home at that point, and they're in 11th grade and 7th grade. And the 11th grader we had passed through and found Union, and since she was young, she always wanted to go to Union. So now she's in 11th grade, and she wants to take dual credit at Union because we found out about their dual credit program. And so we asked Union if she could do all 12 hours in one semester, because they usually have you do it one semester at a time, and she wanted to get them all done at once. And because she was a high achiever academically, they approved for her to come out here and do that. And so so the youngest one was in the 7th grade at the time. So that semester in 2013, we're planning to come out here to Union for her to do that. And we were gonna live in a motorhome and just spend a semester for her doing that. And so just before that same spring semester, the youngest one, who's 12 in 7th grade, we find out that she has ovarian cancer. So that kind of put everything on pause for a while, because we're in Waco at the time and we're going back and forth from the whole spring semester of 2013. And she had to have surgery, multiple rounds of treatment that we were going back and forth to every month. I had a love-hate relationship with suitcases for a long time after that. We were going back and forth. She had her surgery, she had her treatment, and we didn't know if we were going to be able to come for that fall semester in August until she had clear scans. So we had to wait until August even to find out if we could come. Everything, we were getting ready as if it was going to happen. We had faith that, everything was looking good. And so we ended up in August finding out we could come, and we ended up packing up and moving out here. She did her semester, it was successful. And then someone else had asked us if we could stay in their home for the 2nd semester. And we said, well, if Union lets her do another semester of classes, and she had done so well that first semester, but they said yes. So we decided at that point, go back and put our house on the market in Waco, and then just move the whole family out here. And so we've been here since 2013. And
you have to tell them, just because so many of them have been here, tell them one of the houses you lived in that they let you use their house, because they're going to think that's interesting.
So the very first semester, when we were trying to figure out what to do, when we were going to come out in the motorhome, I knew that because of my experience at Baylor, I knew that there was professors that studied abroad. So I called the admin office and I said, do you have any professors that are studying abroad that want somebody to stay in their home? And lo and behold, 10 minutes later, George Guthrie calls me and says, we heard about you coming out here. We don't really want you to stay in a trailer park in a motorhome for your first experience at Union. So when you come out here to meet the admissions office, can you swing by our house and let us meet you? So we went out there, my daughter and I, who was the junior, going to be the senior, so in her senior year of high school, this is when she was doing all this. So we go out and meet him and his wife, and you know who they are, they're just dear. And they were like, and I said, we don't know if we can come until August, until she has her clear scans. And they said, it's okay, you just let us know whenever you know, and our house is yours when you're here. And because they were over in England doing his,
Please, I don't know, maybe it's not, I don't know.
Yeah, well, they take a leave of absence for a semester and do that. And so when Brad Green, if you know him, he also teaches theology up at Union, he asked us if we would do the same thing for him when him and his family went over to England that 2nd semester. And so that's why that all happened. For a whole year we were here living in lovely homes. And
the reason I said that about George Guthrie, for those of you who've not been here, is George has been here to teach several times, and he put together a chronological Bible that we studied for a while. So I wanted her to throw out that name because I knew that would be familiar to you. Okay, I want to talk about some of the missions is something that you can see if you're around Sherry. You start seeing, I don't know that she would see herself as a missionary, but you're not around her long that you'll say, what are you doing this afternoon? She'll say, oh, I'm delivering Meals on Wheels this afternoon, so I can't play pickleball. Or I will go, it's the different things that she does. So you know this past that she's got with this daughter. So I want to tell them for you to tell them what you started your volunteer position yesterday.
Okay, so when our daughter was going through the back and forth for treatment and surgeries, we would go from Waco to Houston, and we were getting to stay at a Ronald McDonald house. And so that was very important to me. They didn't have one here in Jackson, but guess what they have here in Jacksonville? A Ronald McDonald house. And so when I saw the ability to be able to volunteer there, I made contact with them and went through their orientation, and I had my first shift yesterday at the new Ronald McDonald house. And so,
isn't that awesome?
And they are looking for other volunteers if you're interested. They need just people to just sit at the desk and pack bags that you give to them. It's a beautiful place up there. It's like a hotel. And there was an orientation on Thursday night. If you're interested, just let me know and I'll put you in contact with the person you could go.
That's great. Tell us how you started doing the media.
So I was coming to the Bible study, and I met Debbie, I think, on the pickleball court in 2022, and started coming to the Bible study when I learned about that. And I asked her one time, I said, these are so good, the Bible teaching is so good, have you thought about videotaping them? And she said, we have tried for so long to figure out how to do that. I wish we could. And so I went home and asked my husband if he could help us set up a YouTube channel, and we got that going, and like within several months later, we went ahead and got that set up to start videotaping them, and it's just a blessing to be part of being able to share that, and I've even been able to share it, with family back in Arizona, so.
Yeah, and you see that missions part, that she's getting the word out. She's doing her part at these places, and that wherever we are, just to follow this example and say, Lord, in the setting that you put me, how do I take your word and pierce the world around me? How do I love in this way? Do you have anything else?
Well, I will say that we have been married 36 years this summer, had blended a family, and so now we had 2 together, so we have 5 kids. The youngest just got married this past weekend, and we have 14 grandkids that range from 22 down to 2. And so most of our vacations is going to different places to go visit them. But that's a mission field. Grandkids, kids, and that's a mission field.
That's a whole nother tribe, right? And the only other thing is, if you know anyone in Jackson who plays pickleball, if you just want to make conversation with them, you can say, do you know Sherry Troxel? And you will find that she takes those skills as organizational skills, and of course it sits down in any area. But we are so